The opinions and views expressed in Political Talk belong to its commentators and are not those of Nexstar Broadcasting Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees.
Welcome to this Thursday's edition of Political Talk with Tom Santulli and Dora Leland. Earlier this week, the president came out and said that schools across the nation must reopen. He also threatened federal funds to the states if they don't. Tom, tell us a little bit about that. A lot of people are concerned with the COVID virus. We're seeing a resurgence of this virus. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the president's actions.
Yeah, sure. First, let me just say, as somebody right now that's involved in an educational institution, I'm hoping that we can get the kids back in September and we can do it in a safe way. I just think it's good for the kids, it's good for parents, it's good for us. Now, let me put my Trump hat on and say that, let me give you his message. His message is we got to get things back to normal. Kids got to get back to school. And if you don't get kids back to school, then states, I'm going to reduce your federal funding, even though there's not a lot of federal funding involved. And this is all part of making things normal. If people go back to work, things are normal. If people are in school, things are normal. And then add to that the fact that when everybody is happy, people are going to vote for me. And that's how I think how this system works. So he's made his case and he wants everything, and we've got COVID under control. Let me put my Joe Biden hat on. Oh, wait a second. So first I'll climb out of my bunker and say, I can't have everything normal. If things are normal, then it doesn't work for our party. If people are happy because everybody's working and kids are going to school and everything is normal, COVID-19 is a mess. He hasn't done a good job of that, and the economy's not right. So therefore, you got to vote for me. And here's my point. We can't sit down, and I've said this to you 100 times, I'm going to say it again, whether it's racism, civil rights, education, you name it, the economy, these two parties cannot sit down and have a civil conversation anytime to do what's right for the people of America. I just think it's so frustrating. Everything is about, in 4 months, we have an election, and all we're going to do is punch each other out until the bitter end.
Yeah, Dora, Dora, what do you think about that? Has this become, obviously you're a teacher too, and an educator. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts.
Well, I'm going to put my teacher hat on. And first, as a history and government teacher, president has no authority to demand reopenings of schools. That is a reserve power of the states, of the governors. However, he can wield his influence by threatening to withhold federal funds, as he and the Secretary of Education did this week. His dismissal of the CDC guidelines is too tough or very expensive. Quite frankly, as a teacher, as a parent, as a community member, was alarming. I don't think that we can or should push to reopen schools because we're motivated by economic, business, or even worse, political interests. I think our children deserve better. Our families certainly do. The New York State United Teachers President Andy Pallotta made a great statement saying, the health and safety of our students, our families, educators, and other staff, and equitable access to high quality education has to be our top priority. Nobody wants to open schools more than teachers. I miss my students, I miss my colleagues. In-person instruction by far is the best instruction, but we have to do it correctly, and we have to do it intelligently. We have to make sure that by and large, the very first priority we have is keeping people safe. And that means having personal protective gear, having masks, having disinfectant protocol in place. And these things require us to first ask those who are most impacted, the parents and the school professionals, what they think. And also most importantly, fully funding our schools. None of this is going to be possible without fully funding. And as an educator who has always been asked to do more with less, I'm nervous for my students and for my colleagues.
Tom, do you have a quick response to that?
I agree with everything that Dora just said, except for this. I'm back to where I was. Government does control all these things, despite what parents do, what teachers do, what unions do, and the National Federation of Teachers today endorsed going back to school. That all being said, we need our politicians, Democrats and Republicans. The only way we bring this all together, people look to their elected officials for help. They're not getting it, neither side. It's
Yeah.
shameful.
Quick response, Dora, to that.
I do agree. I think that our top priority has to be the welfare of our nation. And that's not going to happen unless we put some political differences aside.
All right, on that note, we thank you both for your comments on this issue. For the latest edition of Political Talk and for past editions of Political Talk, simply log on to our website, mytwintears.com. We'll be right back.